Well, hello, everybody. This is the Get to Know Show. You can see that right there. I have a great guest this evening. Let me just pull that part down. I forgot to take that off. Welcome. I really appreciate everybody that took time to come and join me this evening. We are going to be talking about mindset and positivity, and we're planning to save some lives too. If we could, that would just be, yeah, that's a good part, right? So these shows are brought to you by the LWN Media Productions Company. That is a division of the LWN Live with Nature Foundation. It is a registered 501c3. We're located right here in Sarasota, Florida. And these broadcasts, they'll offer the viewer an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to apply some strategies that can completely change your life. Um, we hope that you will take time. Get your pen, get your pencil out. Tell your friends. Share the video if you're watching on social media, um, because these are the opportunity, like I said, to learn and grow. And positive transformation and empowerment are the goals of the LWN Live with Nature Foundation. We are an advocate for the homeless, for the mental health and the cancer communities, and we stand up against human trafficking. So you're watching this show for a reason, folks. You're here for a reason. I don't know what that is yet. You'll know in a minute. That's why I don't want you to leave, because if you do, you'll leave right before the important part comes up. So I have our special guest this evening, and I'm so pleased to be able to bring Jackie Simmons on. She is a stress management consultant. She is my guest this evening, and she's going to talk about mindset, positivity, attitude adjustment, stress management, and having the talk that saves lives. Jackie is a TEDx speaker, a best selling author, multi certified, specializing in helping you make the rest of your life the best your life can be. Her goal is to help you shine as a beacon of happiness, optimism, prosperity, and enthusiasm. Well, that equals HOPE, hope. Something I think that we all need to have is some hope. As a stress management consultant, Jackie has positively impacted over 120,000 people. And as a business consultant, she's improved the bottom line of over 200 businesses. Jackie co founded a nonprofit, improved on improving our mental health, um, that's focused on our well being, increasing positivity, ending teen suicide. These are very admirable goals, folks. Recently, Jackie was recognized at the third annual Global Forum of the Gulf Coast Latin Chamber of Commerce as an inspiring woman who builds. Get the talk that saves the lives and other saving resources. Here is our guest, Jackie Simmons.
Woohoo! Well, thank you, Stephen. That was an amazing introduction.
Oh, you're welcome. You're an amazing person, so you deserve an amazing introduction.
All right, for
Oh,
everyone out there, I just want the disclaimer.
oh,
My whole qualification for being on this call is that I raised a suicidal child and I got lucky. She's still alive. It's not because I was so smart, it's because I got lucky. And
mhm,
I'm a stress management consultant because I was a single mom of three kids, all in high school at the same time. Daughters, three daughters. Those of you who raise boys and girls, you understand. Daughters.
mhm. Right?
I needed all the help I could get. So
Single
there we
mom. Yeah, I get that.
go.
I do. I get that because of my sister and my granddaughter. Totally
Oh,
understand.
it's different. It's different. Now I've got the advantage that many people do not have. I
Okay.
raised three daughters and I have four grandsons. None of my daughters had Yeah, I don't have any granddaughters, if you will. I've got
Okay.
3 sisters, I've got 3 daughters, and now I got 4 grandsons. It's like, wait a minute, whoa, what the heck happened? I don't know what to do with these guys. Good news is they don't need me to guide them. They've got their moms. Ha ha ha. Being a grandparent is the best. So just live long enough, you'll be a grandparent. It's worth it.
Right. That's awesome. Well, okay. I want you to explain to the viewers you're a wellness coach. Oh, you're many things, but you're a wellness coach.
Oh, thank you. I've been promoted. I'm a wellness coach. Who knew? I
Woohoo.
actually predate the whole coaching industry.
Ah,
So, yeah, I'm not a certified coach. What I am is a seeker of knowledge. So, for all of you who are going, well, I'm not this and I don't have that diploma or I don't have this, take heart. You've learned a few things along the way. You're an expert in what you know.
right.
So I'm an expert in stress management. Why? Because as a single mom of 3 daughters in high school, I learned how to manage stress. I also survived 2 bouts of clinical depression in my adulthood. And if I look back at the pictures of my childhood, there are probably many more episodes.
Hmm.
That makes me an expert in surviving those things.
Neat.
It doesn't make me a licensed anything. As a matter of fact, I've discovered that the more letters I have after my name, the more people tell me what I can and cannot say. So there are 0 letters after my name now. So
Okay.
you're getting Jackie Unfiltered.
All
Just so
right.
you know.
That's awesome. Jackie Unfiltered. You're so awesome, and I just wanted to let the viewers know that I feel so blessed that you are here. I'm learning so much already from you. Um, and yet we kind of known each other through relations through my dad and my sister for some time, and it's like, wow. And then we met through Jay Rise, Jason. Um,
It's
because
really interesting how we get to know people, isn't
isn't
it,
it?
Stephen? I, you're right. We've kind of been in each other's energetic space, but
Yes,
we have not met face to face until just a few weeks ago.
I know.
And that was thank you to Sin and Jay,
Yes.
Ryze, Rise. Okay. So they're the badass branders. And
Yeah.
because they were doing a workshop that we were both at, that's how we met. And they keep doing workshops and we met again. The reality is when you are energetically aligned with your vision, with your mission, when anyone is in, hello, Robert. So when you are energetically aligned with what you want to bring about, and this is what you are thinking about, your subconscious mind is programmed to
Mhm.
bring about what you think about, to seek opportunities, to create possibilities. And that's how we met because I have a mission to make the world a more positive place. You have a mission to make the world a more positive place. Of course, we were going to meet up at some point.
Sooner or
It
later.
was inevitable.
It's so cool. It really is so cool because positivity is something that I have been telling, my viewers for very several years. And I like the way that you say you might not have the degree, but you have the knowledge, and the
Right.
knowledge is what gives you the ability to be able to share and help enlighten people, right?
May I tweak that just a tiny bit?
You can. Go right ahead.
Have you heard the expression knowledge is power?
Yes,
It's not true.
it's not true.
It's not true. Have you ever met an educated idiot? Somebody who had
Yes.
so many degrees that they couldn't figure out how to put together their own barbecue grill?
Okay.
I
Yes.
actually had a friend who was multiple PhDs and he worked for one of the rocket science companies. And when it came to putting together his barbecue grill, he called us over to help him. So, I mean, they can't tie their own shoelaces. This is the difference between knowledge and knowing how to apply knowledge.
I was gonna say, doesn't it matter where it comes from, right? No?
I'm not sure that it matters where it comes from because Lord knows I have knowledge from a wide variety of sources. All right.
Okay.
Pete, your audience. Okay. So if you're
Yeah,
listening to this, just raise your hand. Do you have knowledge from a wide variety of sources?
yeah.
Yeah. We have our teachers, we have our preachers, we have our siblings, our parents, our children, we have our aunts, uncles, grandparents. Yeah, I mean, we've got knowledge north, we've got knowledge south, we've got knowledge wide, and yet wisdom, power
Yes,
only comes from our ability to take all of the knowledge that we have and apply it well.
yes, exactly.
Hi, Tamika. I saw somebody
Yes,
else. So,
we love
yeah,
our
so
view.
applied knowledge is power.
Yes, I do wanna thank Tamika. She is not with us this evening as our co-host, but she is, watching tonight, and that's so awesome. We really, truly love you, Tamika, thank you. And Miss Angel, she's coming to us from Spain. That's
Ooh,
I tell you, isn't that cool? She's such a I'm so blessed with the people that I know and that come and watch this show. I truly am. And running it on Facebook gives me the ability to be able to put these names up. And so that's always good too, right?
I was
Right.
wondering how you were doing that. It looked like magic to me from this side because this is
Facebook, thank
knowledge
you.
I do not have, and it's knowledge I do not know how to apply. So you have applied knowledge in this field of getting a message out into the world. And
Yes.
even if I haven't said it yet, thank you for inviting me to be on your show.
You are so welcome. I mean, I know that the viewers are going to get a lot out of this show because I know that we've got a lot of ground to cover to hopefully educate. And we can learn, and that's what I'm doing. I'm learning from you too as well, and that's why I love this show. It is get to know. Well, get to know me, get to know you, get to know our guests. It's so awesome. Community, the connection through community is so important.
Building community is the hallmark of everything that I am doing right now, whether it's on the Suicide Prevention Society side, whether it's on the launching of a revolutionary new nutrient dense food side. It is totally about how do you build community? How do you bring together people who you can instantly trust?
Right. Right.
Oh, by the way, I have you okay, so you
What?
know me. I'm a bit of a myth buster.
Okay.
Yeah. MYTH myth
Yeah.
buster.
Huh?
Have you heard that people only buy from people they know, like, and trust? Have
I
you ever
think
heard
I've
that?
heard that. I think I
Yeah.
have. Yeah. I mean, being in sales, you would think that I definitely have heard that.
It's not true.
There you go.
I'll bet you have bought something from someone you don't know. I'll bet in your
Exactly.
life you have bought something from somebody you don't like.
Right.
And I will guarantee you, you've bought things from people you don't trust because you don't know them. But what do you
Right.
trust?
You
You
know,
do.
it's out of emotion, isn't it?
Well, you trust their solution.
Well, right, that's what the salesperson does, sell the solution.
Everyone buys things that they trust will solve their problem. I mean, we don't buy, quote, painkillers,
Right.
we buy getting rid of a headache. It is about trusting the solution. And once I understood that, I realized what was broken and backwards, even about the book I wrote about sales. It was that the understanding of the one person that you need to know, like, and trust
Right.
is you.
Right.
The minute you know, like, and trust yourself, other people will buy from you. This was a hard one lesson, Stephen.
Right.
I don't know about anybody in your audience, but I had a business and I had business cards and I went to hundreds of networking events.
Okay.
I gave out thousands of business cards. I built up a ton of goodwill in my community, and I had very few clients
Right.
because I didn't understand this one concept. It wasn't about them know, like, and trusting me. It was about me knowing, liking, and trusting myself
Right.
and my solutions.
Mm. That's
And
really,
then
really important because and we've talked about that on other shows about how being truly genuine starts with your heart. I mean, heart-centered. So beautiful. I mean,
you hit it right on the head. And my heart was divided. I was showing up at networking events. I was very happy to talk about what other people were doing.
right?
What I didn't want was for anybody to ask me about me
Ah,
because I was raising a suicidal child and I was raised with the belief that you don't air your dirty laundry in public and that there's not anything dirtier than mental health conversations. And so I was sending a message of inauthenticity, that thing about, don't let the smile on my face, don't let my glad expression give you the wrong impression. It was a great song. The reality was people didn't trust me and they didn't even know why. It
mm,
was because I wasn't being authentic.
right.
And I had never even heard the word authenticity back then. I mean, we're talking in the 90s,
Right.
and it took until January 16th, 2021, not so
Wow.
long ago,
Right. Not too long.
not too long ago.
No.
That was the day that I took the stage in Las Vegas when Las Vegas was a ghost town. Imagine Las Vegas Boulevard with nobody walking on it,
Yeah.
no cars driving on it, no headlights. This was Las Vegas in January of
Right.
2021. And the only people in the room for my TEDx talk were the other speakers. That was all that
Holy
were
cow.
allowed.
Wow.
And for me, thank you, God, it was perfect because I'm really good with small groups. That's where my brilliance shows up. If
Okay.
there had been the normal TEDx audience of
Yeah.
2,500 people,
Right.
that would not necessarily have been my best showing up because I do really
Okay.
well in small groups.
Yeah.
So, and it's not that I'm selling myself on any limiting belief for those who are listening who are really into limiting belief busting. I actually learned a lot about myself through human design and through the Enneagram and through mind types. It became a study. And what I discovered is small groups are where my brilliance shows up. Doesn't mean large groups won't hear about me. I mean, almost 100,000 people have seen my
Right.
TEDx talk.
Right.
But in the room that day, there were only 25, I think, maybe
Yeah.
27.
Well, that was COVID times.
Yes.
I caught that right off the bat.
Yeah, it was those times when the world was not engaged in person and was getting engaged online. It actually set us up for the success we're having now.
Excellent. And I have thought about whether I wanted to get on the stage for TEDx. I have. It's like, well, how many things can I do? I can only do so many things, and I wanna
Ooh.
do a few things, and I wanna do them well, right?
Okay, I'm gonna myth bust all over
Okay,
again.
okay.
Stephen, what a limiting belief that you can only do a few things. I'll bet if you sat down and listed out the number of things you've done already, it's
Yeah,
more than a few. By the way, a few is three or less, according to the
yeah,
dictionary.
right.
You've already done more
Well,
than a few things.
you're right
Everyone
on that.
listening to us has probably done more than a few things.
I
So why
have.
not do more than a few going forward?
Yeah, I really wanna do everything right. You know? How's that?
Okay, so right or well?
Well,
Thank you. Phew. Watch that. Okay. Because when we get into black and white, right or wrong, we
Right.
are setting up everyone around us to be in the judgment seat. And they don't want to be in the judgment seat, judging if we're right or wrong. What if we say, did I do it well? Did you have fun? Was that good enough? What did you like best about it? Now we're inviting them to go on this journey with me. And I'll be blunt about a TEDx talk. It's an iterative process. What does that mean? I'd never heard the word before. Here's what it means.
Okay.
I did a draft of my talk. I
Right.
invited a few friends on a Zoom call. I delivered my draft. They gave me some ideas for how to make it better. I was with some friends at an event. We were sharing the same Airbnb. I gave them my talk. I gave it to them. I read through it. They gave me some ideas. I made another tweak. I did the number of iterations of my talk printed fills an accordion file.
Wow.
Why? Because I had read or seen a little video, Alexander's butterfly, I don't remember the kid's name,
Okay.
but it's a little video about a school system that a kid who's like 5 or 6 drew a butterfly. And then his peers looked at it and said, well, the wings could be more curved or whatever. And
Right.
so he made a little change. And then another group of students looked at it and said, well, this could be a little more indented for the wing. And then he made that change. And the next version was shown to another group of students. And what they showed was that the difference between the starting to the ending was phenomenal. And there was no angst on the part of the kid because it wasn't anybody telling him he was doing it wrong. It was just, that's beautiful. And to make it look a little more like the butterfly that you want it to look like, you might want to do this. It's called refinements versus criticism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and see, I realized that a lot of the things that I thought were right are not right. Well, because you just taught me to, yeah. It is about the words. You're probably here because I was wanting to use the right words. I'm trying to do that. And you're here to help me with that. And so, yeah, I mean, before, I mean, I thought everything was beautiful, but it wasn't so beautiful. And so I had to get real with myself and look at myself and say, hey, look, um, you're a legend in your own mind, you know?
Well, there are a lot of areas in my life, Stephen, where good enough is good enough.
Right. Right.
And that judgment call frees up the resources mentally, emotionally, even physically, and sometimes financially
Right.
to be able to do more in the other areas of my life. How I'm going to get help everybody on the in listening. How you make your bed is good enough.
Right.
However you do it is good enough. Move on. Now, when it comes to your business, good enough is good enough for the moment. And then you get refinements offered to you from your clients, from your peeps, from the
Right.
vendors, from the people that you trust for their opinions. And you start with where you are and you just make it better. It's
Yes.
called bettering our best. You know what the problem is, Stephen?
What?
Most people don't believe that what they're doing right now is their best.
Right, because they're not, yes. Well,
If they judge it
I get it.
as their best, then they can better their best. Now, this is not my idea. It actually comes from a book, a series, a course that I've completed called
Okay.
Gift to Be Great.
Uh-huh.
The idea of bettering your best is not new. What most people skip is how do you know that what you're doing right now is your best? I have a really clear answer for that. Would you like it?
Yeah.
It's
It's
what you're doing
right now.
right now. That's your best.
Yeah.
Everyone does what seems like the best idea at the time. This is the only way we make decisions. We make decisions based on it's the best idea at the time. Now, the way I came to this knowledge was through our work in suicide prevention.
Okay.
When I realized that there were no prevention programs out there, there were no pure prevention programs, which is P cubed. Okay, there are no pure prevention programs. What they were intervention programs called suicide prevention.
Okay.
How do I know they were intervention? They had
Yeah.
entrance criteria: a mental health diagnosis,
Mhm.
an at risk label, or a previous attempt. If you
Sounds
did not have one of those three, there was no program for you to prevent you from having one of those three. It absolutely, the moment that it hit me was like a lightning bolt.
right.
And thank God for my daughter
Yeah.
who survived multiple suicide attempts. That's the basis of the TEDx talk.
Right.
Her story is there. She's the one who helped me understand in a 7-minute talk that, wow, we've had it broken and backwards for a long time.
Right. I believe that. I
What
do
if
believe
there was a way through a simple conversation to redirect someone's brain towards positivity, and you don't need to know if they need it? Why do you not need to know if they need it, Stephen? I'll give you a clue. Everyone needs more positivity.
right, because we're basing well, I think you hit it when you said judgment in the very beginning. Judgment and opinion. And I grew up in a very in a judgmental situation and an opinionated situation. And so what was I? Judgmental and opinionated.
Well,
And
yeah,
so
because we learn what we live.
that's
That's the
right.
thing about kids. They learn what they live, not what we tell them, what they
Right.
live.
It's so important. And so that's where I had to unlearn and where I'm trying to get to that um Buddhist kind of concept of, you know what, everything can happen and it's all beautiful. And I'm okay with that. Even if, I don't agree with it, I'm still okay with it.
Well, now you're in my stump. Okay,
Uh,
so anybody who sends me an email, I will send them the Leaving Shouldville card. You've got one of these.
and I do have them right here. See?
And the reason we created the Leaving Shouldville card and the
Yes.
Talk That Saves Lives card is because people need something that's simple and easy.
Right.
And when, okay, I'm not an easy person, all right? I am a simple person. I have simple rules. The reason I'm not easy is because I have very few filters, and what I think comes out of my mouth sometimes without any thought of how it's going to land. So
Right.
I created some easy rules.
Okay.
Here's easy rule number one: whatever time we get started is the right time. Easy rule number two: whoever shows up are the right people. Easy rule number three: whatever we get done is enough. And easy rule number four is when it's over, move on. Keep what made sense to you, what's valuable to you, leave the rest and go. Oh, and there is one absolute guideline. You ready?
Yes.
If it's not your vibe, if you find that we're not your tribe, just vote with your feet and leave quietly. If you're at a retreat center, don't go interrupt any other group. Go outside, get some fresh air.
Right.
There's no reason to stay in a room that does not serve you. Very few people give themselves permission to leave. Thank God for COVID and Clubhouse, that was really popular for a little while, that taught me the language of leave quietly.
Right.
And the framework of this comes from open space theory, which is where they would bring large corporations, think like Google, large
Right.
corporations, to a retreat center when they were going to go through major change.
Mhm.
And anyone who had something they wanted to talk about, put it on a big post-it note, those 3x5 post-it notes, 3 foot by
Okay.
5
Right.
foot, 2x3. And then they would go to a microphone, announce the topic. They would go over to a grid on the wall, put that post-it note, this room, this time, and anybody who was interested in that topic would just sign on the post-it note. And when that time was time, they just
Mhm.
took the post-it note and they went and started the meeting. And their belief was whatever time we get started is the right time. Whoever shows up are the right people. Whatever we get done is enough. And when it's over, move on and vote with your feet. If this is not your tribe, not your vibe, it's not what you thought we were going to be talking about, just leave. But do not go into any other classroom. Do not go into any breakout session and interrupt a group that's in process. Go outside. This is politeness.
Right.
This is
Politeness
the
is
epitome.
important.
Yeah.
It's important, um, because it's not about we have to make a point with anybody, you know? It's about being kind to people we don't even know. I mean, and I'm gonna put this up because it's, like, right on the deal, and we wanna think, what has kindness done for us, right? So what would we want to do about lifting somebody else up, right? I mean,
I'm going to challenge everyone listening
okay,
because you hit it right on the head with this second one. Imagine how you would feel by lifting someone else up. Most people, Stephen, and congratulations, because most people stop with the question, what have people done for you that's kind? What is the
right,
kindness you've received? And
right.
by the way, there was a huge study called the Happiness Advantage at Harvard trying to figure out, is there a correlation between the support people received and their success? What do you think the results were?
Not good.
There is zero correlation. You hit
0.
it. There's zero correlation between the support people receive and their success. But here's where they found the correlation. When they flipped the question and they started asking Harvard students in this high pressure environment, which by the way is where the positive psychology movement started, was at Harvard.
Okay.
So here's these students in this high pressure situation, kids who have been the top of their class, the smartest kid in the county or the state. They show up at Harvard and all of a sudden they're not. I mean, high stress environment. And what they discovered was the accurate predictor of how much success they were going to have, not just at Harvard, but in life,
Right,
was not how they were supported, but how they supported others.
right. And that goes directly to the last, I think it was, well, maybe 2 shows ago, paying
Hmm.
it forward, and how awesome it is to be paying it forward. And so, yeah, it tends I think that we were trained, "What's in it for me?" Right? "What do I get out of it?" And it's, like, all about me instead of all about them, and I think that that's what you said here.
The trick to paying it forward is to give without expectation,
Exactly.
to
Right.
give without expectation. And that's where most people struggle because there are a lot of groups out there that have the philosophy givers gain.
Mhm.
I give and I expect to receive. What they're not teaching, what's missing, is that yes, the law of compensation, the scales of compensation will balance out. The more you give, the more you will receive. This is biblical, this is time honored, it's way predates most. It way predates the Bible, actually, and it actually predates written language. It goes all the way
Mhm.
back to Epictetus, which is all verbal tradition.
That's, Greek.
It is Greek.
Right.
One of the first things that lived beyond without anything in writing.
Mm.
The power, though, in this is understanding that the scales will balance without them needing to balance from the person you're giving to. It's not a transaction. I give to you, you want to give to me. No, it's I give to you, and the universe, God, the divine,
Yeah.
the scales, the energetic scales will come into balance. I don't have to worry about it. I can trust it.
Right.
That's the trust factor that's missing for most people.
Thank you for pointing that out, Jackie, because it is truly the part that's missing, and it's a part that we have to work on learning again. It's always, I think, we've always had it within us. I believe that it was always there. It was whether it was suppressed or not. And so we have to bring it out and recognize that we have everything that we need, and everybody has special different qualities. Like you say, I like to speak in small groups, not big groups, you know? I mean, that's the kind of thing. It's so awesome. You
It's
have so much
thank you. It's so cool
intelligence.
to hear you
It's
speak,
just
Stephen.
wonderful.
So,
Um,
what is in the way? What are you afraid of? Because that's what's in the way of most people tapping into this amazing power that's available to all of us,
right.
is that we're afraid of something. What do you think it is that most people are afraid of?
Most people have fear because they don't have trust within themselves to be able to achieve the next thing because they're going to I don't have that skill, they think, or I don't
Okay.
have that
So,
ability.
so they doubt.
So yeah, you doubt would be the good answer. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know that we're born with fear? We're born with two fears.
Okay.
We are born with the fear of loud noises, sudden
Yeah.
loud noises. That's a fear we are born with. The other fear we're born with is the fear of falling.
Mm-mm.
Those are the only two fears we are born with.
Mm.
Everything else we've been taught.
Interesting.
Everything else we've been taught. Little kids, if you watch them play, they have zero judgment about their play ability. All they care about is the result. And the result is it fun?
Is it fun? Right.
Is it fun? Does this bring me joy? There's a whole culture based on clutter clearing, where the question about your clutter is, does it bring you joy? Even about your clothing, does it bring you joy? So we've got this movement that's starting to get us back to the only criteria that we had. The only criteria we had for friends was, do I have fun when I'm with you? If it's not fun when I'm with you, we're not going to be friends. That was the criteria. It was about joy. And somewhere along the line, someone told us to grow up, be serious, stop having fun. By the way, I've got a training about having fun. Do we have 10 minutes or 5 minutes? I can
You
teach.
do. Let's just do this real quick. I'm gonna go to a commercial here for Chemo Buddies for Life. I do, in fact, support that
Woo!
organization. We
They're
love them so
wonderful.
much.
Yeah.
That is Tamara Hunter. I love you so very dearly much. And this is a great opportunity to learn about Chemo Buddies. You can be a chemo buddy, either a supporter or someone that's going through or has been through cancer. Yeah, let's hear from them.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
Share this with your friends and family and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
Wow.
I just love that commercial. And it's not really a commercial. It's just an awareness.
I'm going to call it a public service announcement.
It is a PSA. You're so right. It is a PSA. Thanks for clarifying that for me. Now I know what to say next. It is a PSA, and I love Chemo Buddies and that group. And yeah, right after this, if you happen to, you can be part of the community. They have a private group that you can request to be in every Friday. We're here to help you. If you're struggling, it's private, it's confidential. So we care about you. I do love that. And that's why I do that, is because I think it's so important. And I do believe that even in the Chemo Buddies, in everything, it is about a connection through community. And through the community, we can help to support each other to achieve a quality of life that's worth the living, right? Because that's what your message was about, stopping teen.
We had to grow up and make it not just about teen suicide, but make it about the Suicide Prevention Society.
Yeah.
Because it's not just teens.
It isn't. But our youth is the most important people that we could educate to know that life is going to be okay. Yeah, we all can have difficult challenges, but that's all just part of the experience, right? I think.
Emotional resilience is the skill at every single age that decides how we are going to thrive or survive in life. So there's a tiny, tiny, tiny fine line between surviving and thriving. It's not anything other than a decision that people make. And to help people make decisions is what I do. I help people decide to thrive, not just survive, whether it's in the trauma resolution work that I do, or it is in the positive movement, which is happiness, optimism, prosperity, and enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
It's the acronym of HOPE, which is why I love that so much in the Chemo Buddies message. HOPE, happiness, optimism, prosperity, and enthusiasm. Most people don't want to talk about the prosperity part, or they don't want to talk about the happiness part. When I put happiness and fun and suicide prevention together, I got a lot of flack out in the world. I was told I'd never be taken seriously by the mental health community or by the educational community. And my response
is
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that because I've been in both of those communities and they both know one thing. What they are doing isn't working on this one topic of creating emotional resilience and more happiness, optimism, prosperity, and enthusiasm. So I decided that Sean Aker, the Harvard professor who started me on this journey with understanding what was happening at Harvard, through his books, Happiness Advantage, Before Happiness, and Big Potential. And his TEDx talk, which is the funniest TEDx talk of all time, is the Happiness Advantage. I highly recommend it. What I learned about this is that everything I thought was true about how our brains work was broken and backwards.
Right.
because it kept us focused on solving the problem, which kept us focused on the problem, as opposed to turning that around and focusing on what we really, really want. Now, the power of focus is one of my newest rack cards that's going to be out soon, is a whole exercise on focus. But I promised to tell you about this one key piece about what is it that's fun. Are you ready to hear how that plays out?
Yes, I am. Let's tell the viewers.
There's a ball player. Okay, this is a story that started with a platform speaker named Dr. Zanya. She was the first female platform speaker I ever saw in the 80s. I come from an evangelical background and a military background. That's my family.
Okay.
So men were in the pulpit, not women. So when this woman, Dr. Zanya, strode onto, and she took that stage. She owned that stage. It was quite a revelation for me.
Right.
And she shared a short story about a ball player. Now, this is a kid who was so excited on the airplane flying into Atlanta. He'd been called up to the show. He was coming from the minors to play for the Atlanta Braves. And it was all they could do to get a seatbelt on the kid to get him to hold still so the plane could take off. He was so excited.
Right.
When he got to Atlanta, he got a cab to the ballpark. I don't care, there's no game. You get me to the ballpark, I got to go to the show, don't you know? And the kid is just wandering around the stadium. There's pictures of famous ball players. There's trophies. And then he sees, pardon the expression, he sees God. It's the club owner. And he runs over and he shakes it. Almost took that poor man's arm right off. I'm so glad to be here. You're going to be. Club owner has seen this before. Says, son, I'm glad you're happy to be here. Why don't you come to my office and we'll get better acquainted? Oh, yeah, no problem. So here's the club owner in his suit and tie. And behind him is this ball player, kind of lanky like a floppy dog. They get into the club owner's office. Kid is shown a chair. Stephen, you'd have thought there were tacks in the chair. That poor kid could not keep his assets sitting still. So the club owner slides a few pieces of paper across his desk and says, son, why don't you read these? And then we'll chat. These are the rules of the ballpark. Oh, yeah, no problem. I'm so happy to be here. The kid starts reading and he starts settling down. And by the time he got to the bottom of that second page, he looks up at the club owner and he's got this wrinkle right in his forehead. And he goes, I don't like some of these rules. And the club owner says, son, you have three choices. Option one, you can accept the rules of the ballpark without conflict. Play ball, make money, have fun. That's option one. Option two, you can argue with the rules and create conflict. You'll still play ball, but you'll pay fines, so you won't make as much money because you'll struggle to get to practice on time. And I guarantee you will not have as much fun. Option three, you can get out of my ballpark. Whoa, just got here. I don't want to leave. Oh, what were those first two options? Option one, accept the rules without conflict. Decide that you like them. Play ball, make money, have fun. Or option two, argue with the rules, create conflict, make less money, have less fun. Well, now that ball player, remember we talked about focus? That ball player had spent his whole life dreaming of three things: play ball, make money, have fun. It was an easy decision for him. He decided he liked those rules just fine on to have a great career.
Excellent.
That one lesson about Whose ballpark am I in? Whose ballpark am I in? Now, that was as far as the story went with that day back in the 1980s. And it was a few years later before I woke up to this other question. See, I don't know anybody else on here, but I have a mama. Do you have a mama?
Yeah.
So when I took my kids to visit my mama, whose ballpark was I in? Hers.
Mama's. Yeah.
I had 3 options. What were they? Accept the rules without conflict, argue with the rules and create conflict. Oh, by the way, I was an expert at that one with my mama.
Okay.
Or stay out of her ballpark. But it's my mama. I wanted my kids to know their grandmother. And that whole first one, accept her rules without conflict, it had the virtue of never having been tried. Right. So I'm going to visit my mama, got my 3 kids in the back seat. We're all talking on the way down. And I'm saying, we're going to grandma's, what are the rules? What are the expectations? So I decided to try accepting her rules without conflict. I did not tell my mama, but I spent the trip to her house helping my kids understand this. It was a 4.5-hour drive. By the time we got there, we were all in the same.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, the fact that I'm sorry, Jerry, not Jerry, that's your dad.
That's
Steven,
my dad.
Steven, the fact that my mama didn't have a heart attack that trip is a testament to her strength because there was no conflict. Yes, mama, you want to go to the store in a half an hour? No problem. Hey, kids, store 30 minutes, get your shoes. They turned off the TV. They got their shoes and coats. We were by the door before she was. She was like, huh? What? It was super, super easy. Now, my husband at the time, after a couple of visits, he took option 3 and he quit coming with me to visit my mama. She was just fine with that. Everybody was happy. There was no conflict. Okay. And that lasted for the majority of the rest of her life, for decades of our relationship.
Awesome.
But it took a few years before it dawned on me. Mm-hmm. Hey, Stephen, when my mama came to visit me, whose ballpark was she in?
Hers.
That's what had been happening. Every time she came to visit, much to the chagrin of my kids and my husband at the time, we contorted our house to make her more comfortable. But one day I went, wait a minute, I'm not being a good club owner. If a ball player has 3 options, accept the rules, argue with the rules, or get out of the ballpark, a club owner has 3 responsibilities. The first one is know the rules of the ballpark and put them in writing for yourself. The second responsibility is to communicate the rules clearly. The third responsibility is the challenging one. Apply the rules equitably, not equally. Why equitably? Well, you wouldn't have the same expectation of a bat boy that you have of your star player.
Right.
And at home, do you have the same expectation of a 2-year-old that you have of a 12-year-old?
Right. No, you don't.
So I had been very remiss as the club owner of my home. Now, like I said, I didn't tell my mom about the ballpark theory when I went to visit her, just the language changed. It became, yes, mama, you want this, let's make it happen. Now she came to visit me and I didn't tell her about anything other than the language changed. Yes, mama, you want to have breakfast at 7. We have breakfast at 6:30. Do you want oatmeal or eggs or to fix your own later? She had options. Yes, mama, you want to watch your TV show at 7. We have to be on the ball field at 6:30 for practice. Do you want to come with us to the ball field or stay here and watch your TV show alone? Mm-hmm. My ballpark had integrity. What we were used to doing, we kept doing, and she could adapt to our schedule or live her own schedule. She had choices. I didn't take away her choices. There was no forcing. But what was interesting is that, well, the first visit, there was some conflict. She kind of argued with the rules because it was a shift. But it didn't take long before she accepted my rules without conflict. And then from that place of calmness, she took option 3 and quit coming to visit. You know how my husband at the time quit going to visit her and she was okay?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? My family was okay that she didn't come visit us. And when we went to visit her, we were in her ballpark. She was happy. And this lasted for the last couple of decades of her life.
That's awesome. We are almost like 45 seconds out of time. That is an awesome story. Truly, Jackie. And I really appreciate you taking time to come and share this wisdom with us this evening. We appreciate our viewers as well. We hope that you've enjoyed it. You can reach out to Jackie. I did put it in the comments. www.jackiesimmons.com. Do reach out to her. Do come back Monday, 7 o'clock, not 7:30, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We will be back. We appreciate everybody. Thank you, Jackie. Everyone, have a blessed and wonderful weekend. Be well, be blessed. See you soon.